Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Broadcast. Just bear with me a few moments here while I set up the stream. I'm gonna be streaming to YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope today. Hopefully more in the future. Periscope presently is the pain in the butt one to set up. Today we're gonna be talking about VR and its future. Oh, yeah, almost there. And we're definitely going to be touching on some gamification along our journey. Alright, that appears to be underway. Almost there. Alright. I got everything set up now. For coffee today, we've got some light roast, True North. Marvelous stuff, truly. And for breakfast today, we have, what are these things called again? I just knew it. It's one of those nut muffins. Morning Glory, that's what it is. It's a Morning Glory muffin. It's pretty good. Nice and cold too. Alright, let's get straight into it here. So today I want to talk about VR and its future. I believe that VR has a huge future, and as a media platform, it is the media platform of choice for people to communicate with, because it allows us to communicate in a way that's natural, that we've basically gone through millions of years of evolution to be able to communicate in certain ways. So gestures, voice, physical, you can communicate all of these things in VR, because with VR you can remote yourself into another place with someone else, maybe avatars or representations of yourself, and you can interact in these virtual environments. Although that's very unnatural, it does ring a bell with every way we've ever talked. So you could basically have a campfire with people all over the world and communicate with them more so than ever before. And that communication, combined with social media, is going to lead to an education platform where anything you need to learn, you'll be able to learn from people who know it best at any given point in time. You can do it live. Say you're building an engine. Well, there'll be lots of other live people helping people build engines. So if you wanted to tear apart your car engine and rebuild it, or build a computer, you can have other people in virtual reality assist you in those projects. So it's almost like connecting us in physical space in a way we've never been able to connect before, through distance. There's a few articles on my Twitter account, @FknzLm, posted up here. Today I seen an article mentioning how VR was just used and is being used to help CEOs of businesses experience what it's like to be homeless. And there's an education factor in there, because they experience some of the realities of what it's like to be homeless. They basically put on a VR headset, and in this virtual environment they will be a homeless person. And it's certainly in beta mode right now. It's basically just them sitting in chairs with the VR headset on, and then they get to go spend a night on a piece of cardboard. But it's raised over $5 million so far, and from word of mouth from the CEOs that have done it, they say that it's changed their perspective on what it's like. When you walk down the street in someone else's boots, it really is a different world. Good muffin. Another article I read recently was about VR arcades, which are basically VR arcades. So these little places popping up in cities all over the world where people can go and experience virtual reality without actually having to invest a lot of money up front. You know, maybe get a coffee and pay $20 and try out some VR. It's a really great experience. I've personally only really done Duke Nukem VR like way back in the day, but I have a good mindset of what VR is. And here in Peterborough, where I live, there's like this little Asian cafe, and you can go there and try VR headsets. And yeah, these things are gonna pop up everywhere until the technology is more accessible. And yeah, that's a great way to try VR. If you don't have a VR headset to try, you can check out local VR arcades in your community. And recently added to the Valve's Knuckles VR controller was a grip feature. So it's basically just they're adding sensors to sense more of what it's like to interact naturally with a world, in this case a virtual world, but it's another step in the right direction. Eventually VR is going to do full body motion tracking, so it's going to track all of the movements of your fingers, toes, eyes, ears, everything, and it's going to alter the virtual world because of that. So you reach your hand out and it will move the dust in the air, and then you grasp an object and of course it picks it up. This is a good step towards that, because it's bridging the gap between what is real and what is not. And then there's this one last article I'd like to mention here after I take another bite. I always forget that the second song is really loud. It's like way too loud. Go to the third song. There we go. Alright, the last article that I wanted to mention today was how Intel is looking to revamp the Olympic Games that are coming up in 2024. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. But yeah, they're basically going to add a whole new slew of virtual reality features to the next Olympic Games. So VR at the Olympics, think I can sit on my living room couch and it can be like I'm at the Olympics. So it's no longer just watching through, or no longer has to be just watching through a square or rectangular screen. You can put the headset on and look around the entire stadium. You can look at the athletes. You can be right there on the track with them. You can be in the locker rooms if you want to be there. Basically in VR you can go anywhere the camera goes. So adding that to the Olympics is going to be great. Absolutely great. And the most important part of virtual reality is, bear with me, a couple more bites of my muffin. Is virtual reality combined with gamification, which is, gamification is basically games applied to learning things. So if you're learning a new skill or a new task or new anything basically, it's proven to be much faster through a game methodology. So when you add VR to this, you basically add learning anything in a virtual world and have it like a game. So the best example I can think of this is a dojo. Preferably the dojo for the Matrix. So Keanu and Morpheus, they go into the dojo in this virtual world and they can practice the skills and they can learn basically anything in this virtual world. So virtual reality plus gamification equals virtual dojo, where you can learn anything. Thank you for joining me on this morning's broadcast. I'll see you all again next time.